Hi, today I'll show you how to calibrate the pH meter. I have two of them. I bought it for around $30 each. I'm going to use this pH buffer powder and pour into 250 mils of distilled water, and we'll get a solution that we can measure the or calibrate the instrument with, right? So the pH meter will calibrate against these standard solution. So I have one that is pH of 4.00, and then the other one is 6.86. Okay, there's another one as well. I think you just need these two to calibrate your pH meters, but I also have another one which is 9.18. So I want to have this a wide spectrum from low pH to higher pH. So hopefully this will help me to calibrate my pH meter properly. All right, make sure you have your distilled water ready, your beaker, and we're ready to go. Let's get started. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is to be able to get 250 mils of solution. So what I'll do is I'm going to pour let's start with the pH of 4 first, okay, 4.00, and I'm going to pour into this container, the glass container. First thing I want to do is take a beaker, okay, and pour the pH. Actually, let's start with a pH of 6.86. It's like almost neutral here. We're going to pour into the beaker. Make sure you get all the powder into the beaker, because it's supposed to use every single piece of the powder. So you want to use all the pieces of the powder in here, and then take 250 mils solution. Ideally, what you want to do is have the water ready and then pour the powder in there. That would probably be the better way to mix your solution. But I want to measure using my gravity cylinder. This is 100 mils, so I need 200 and 150. That would be 250. We'll pour into that and then mix them. Okay, a little bit more. Pour some water in here. Okay, so we have 100 mils of water, pour it once. Yep, another 100, that's 200 already. Okay, so there's another 50. So now we have a 250 ml solution, and that powder, the 6.86 pH buffer powder already in there. See, make sure I got everything in here. Yeah, and now we just need to stir it. Okay, so what we want to do is stir this solution. Make sure the powder is completely dissolved in the water solution. Okay, so once it's dissolved well, and you want to pour into a glass container. Ooh. Whoop, there we go. And there's my pH of 6.86 solution ready to be measured and standardized. So I'm going to use it to calibrate my 2 pH meter. Let's do that right now. Now, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to set up another solution, the 4.00. We'll do that first, and maybe we have the 2 solution ready. I might even do the 9.18 pH as well, have all the 3 solution ready, and then we'll calibrate this instrument. Okay, let's do that now. Now, before you proceed to make another solution, make sure you clean your beaker with distilled water. Okay, and then we're ready for the next solution we want to make. I want to make the pH of 4.00. Okay, so let's wash and clean this beaker that was contaminated with a pH of 6.86. Okay, this is a pH of 4.00. Make sure you get everything in there. Okay, and we need to make 250 mils of distilled water. Okay, so okay, now we have this solution. We can now mix them. So this is the pH of 4.00, the powder solution with 250 mils. Make sure you completely stir it so all the crystals, the powder in here is fully dissolved. This is a solution that we need to use to calibrate our pH meters. So this is pH of 4.00. Make sure you stir it well. Here's another glass container. I'm going to pour that in here. Okay, so this is our pH of 4.00 solution. Have to label that. Okay, there we go. Alright, so we're going to try to calibrate this pH meter, this brand here. We have the manual to help us. So first thing you want to do is to dip it into the pH of 6.86 solution. Okay, submerge it up to that line there. Press on. Turn the calibration on. Press for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Let me do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we'll flash 3 times and then it'll give me a reading. Okay, there we go. And that's about right. Okay, turn it off and dry this. Okay, submerge in distilled water. This is distilled water over here. And then dry it. What you do next is then calibrate with the solution of 4.0 pH. I think that's all you need for now, just these 2 solutions. Okay, so we're gonna submerge it in to this level like that. Press on, and then press calibration for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll flash 3 times. There we go. 1, 2, 3. And we're done. Okay, and that's it. It's calibrated for these 2 solutions. Okay, that's good. Okay, so what do I learn from calibrating these instruments? Well, for this brand here, I think the accuracy, if you can see here, it's you can rely only up to 1 decimal places here. So okay, let's see how far it goes. 6.8. Okay, so if it's 6.79, you round it to a 10th digit, so 6.8. I think that's the most precise way to measure it. Is only up to the 1 decimal places. Okay, so this instrument here, you can rely only on 1 decimal places, so 6.8. The 0201 that's flashing here, not sure how reliable that is, but you can say that yeah, 6.8 is right, but 6.821 and all that. So you always count on the 1 decimal places, but the second, the 100th, may not be as reliable. Okay, so that's why I learned about these cheap pH meter. So what I'll do is I'll record as 6.8283, but I'll say plus and minus 0.05 or something like that, because I'm not sure I can rely on this last digit there. Alright, so let's calibrate this instrument here. This one requires a screw on the back here to adjust. accordingly. So what we'll do is we'll put into a solution of 6.86. Okay, there we go, and turn it on, and it's showing, oh, it's all over the place here. Alright, so this one I'm unable to calibrate because if you look at the reading, it's jumping all over the place. It goes from 15 to 1 to 4 to 17, 13. You see that? This is not calibratable because normally it will settle to 1 gauge reading and slowly going up or go down. But here it's jump all over the place. So that means that this instrument, I mean, I had this for over 2-3 years and I haven't used it for a long time. I had a problem previously when I tried to calibrate it, but now it's really bad. You see? It's just jumping all over the place. So this pretty much is a useless pH meter. Can't really use or rely on it. The pH is jumping too much. So the only one that works is this one here that I recently bought. So we're going to use this to measure pH. This one is now, yeah, I think it's garbage. Well, I'll take it apart actually and see what's inside, and maybe use it for other experiment. But for now, I can say this instrument is unreliable because it's jumping all over the place. I can't really calibrate it. Okay.